today's episode is a little bit different. It's in real life versus online, but the online is still interesting and different from many that you would have heard of. So there's a bit of travelling, there's a bit of visiting, but there's a bit of online. So there's obviously some fabric as well. Hello lovely friends, and welcome to an extra special episode of Threading My Way. So I just want to tell you a little bit of context about how the Threading My Way started. So last summer, one of my family members was really quite poorly, and they live in Kent, which is where I come from, and I was doing a lot of driving on the M25. And for those of you who are not accustomed to the M25 in the south of England, it is a motorway that is around London, outer London, and once it gets snarled up, it gets snarled up, and there are always roadworks, and it is not a delightful motorway to travel on. So I am somebody who, I am naturally a positive person. I find it hard to stay in a grump for very long. It's just who I am. But I really don't believe in toxic positivity. Sometimes you've got to sit and wallow in your grump, and then I sort of pick myself up and move on. And I realised that I was going to be doing a lot of backwards and forwardsing and quite a bit of waiting around for various reasons, that I was like, how do I turn this situation into something that just gives me a moment in between? Because it was so hard at points that I wasn't even sure what day of the week it was. And so I realised that having had Kent as my home county, it would be good to revisit some places. It would be good to try and see if I could find some fabric shops. And what started with episode 1 of visiting a Tenterden and finding a lovely fabric shop there and wandering around the charity shops just continued on, and it allowed me to plan my route, to think about whether like on one episode I stayed overnight. And what it meant was I was able to find like these pockets of sort of me time control within what was a very difficult time where I couldn't do anything. There was a lot of waiting, a lot of being patient. And so by being able to plan my route, think about where I was going to visit, and think about how that fitted in, it gave me a sense of self. It also really made me think about how important our small businesses are. Now, you know, I bang on about it, but it just going to actual fabric shops, meeting the owners, talking to them, touching the fabric, which I hadn't done as much as I would like to do, it just really centered me on that as well. So people kept saying to me, you're going to do more, you're going to do more. And I promise I will go back to Kent, because there's still parts of Kent I haven't done. But what it's done is given me the opportunity to think, where else and what else should I do? So let's start with the online. Now, I didn't realise this when I ordered from them, but this is the same company that Kate of Ripper Seams ordered like a mixed box from. They are called Wasted Fabric. They are situated in Belgium, and they only take dead stock from specific factories within Europe. So they're not going and buying up what is described as dead stock, but they don't know where it originates from. They often list on their fabrics the origin of who had the fabric designed or who used it. And I'm very mindful that there is now fabric being produced for dead stock excessively, so that there is dead stock rather than it being real leftovers. So they had a special deal on, which was buy one get one free, and the price was not ridiculous, but was a reasonable price of £33 for 3 meters. You can only buy in lengths of 3 meters, so it's tipping up the higher end of often the prices I pay for fabric. But when it's buy one get one free, suddenly it makes it £5.50 per metre rather than £11. So I ummed and ahed, and I thought I'd go for it because sometimes you just got to try something new. So I was curious, ordering from Belgium. First of all, the postage wasn't ridiculous. Secondly, it didn't take a ridiculous amount of time to arrive, and it was tracked by DPD and everything. So I've now ordered a second time because they were clearing out some of their older stock, but I waited till the first things arrived before I did this. So let's have a good look at what I got. The other thing I would say that I like about their website is incredibly clear descriptions of fabric content, etc., because this is something now that I'm very sure about in my fabric shopping, which is I want to know the content. It's gone are the earlier days of my sewing where that didn't matter so much because I could use it for toiles. I try where possible to avoid buying things with polyester in for lots of reasons, including the end of life of polyester is very, very long. So this is the first one. That doesn't mean, by the way, I haven't bought polyester fabrics or second hand and so on. So this is a crepe. Here it is. So hopefully you can see the texture. So as I say, everything comes in 3 meters, and this has got a lovely feel to this, and I just can't wait to make like a summery dress in this. So the quality is what I was expecting, because you don't know. The first time you order from somewhere, it's always a risk. The second one was a viscose, and these are sea urchins, and it has that lovely soft viscous feel. So I thought that was a great one for like a summery trouser, that sort of thing. Not so keen on it in my face, but as a summery trouser, that sort of thing. And then this one, which is 100% cotton, it's that lovely, cool, soft, thin cotton that you want when you want like a skirt, or a drapey dress in the summer. Now I searched this and did find dresses made in this. I think some of the dresses that I saw were made for Zara, which is interesting because that's not who they listed it for, but I am going to track it back. So yeah, love this one. And then the last one is another lovely cool cotton. I would like the white bits to have been less cream, but when you think of that made into a lovely swooshy skirt, so that again is that really good quality soft summery cotton that you would like. So verdict is the fabric is exactly how it's described. The quality of the fabric is very good. It took about a week and a half to arrive via DPD, which I don't think is bad from Belgium. I think it's a bit on the dearer side when it's not on offer, but on offer the fabrics are very reasonable prices. But obviously you can only buy 3 meters, you can't buy smaller amounts, so it's just something to be aware of. So then the next part of this is a trip to an actual shop. Now I have visited in the Slough area before JB Fabrics. So JB Fabrics is a small family run business that started with a lovely lady using her son's pram and pushing it around the Horlicks factory and selling fabric to her colleagues in her lunch break. And JB has 2 sides to it. It has the wonderful Asian style wedding dresses on one side, and then another side which is fabrics. They're very good at their viscose. They have a really good selection of fabrics that you often won't find anywhere else. So then the other day I became aware that there was another fabric shop in Slough that I didn't know about and was less than 2 miles from where I work. So one day on my way home, because they open till 6 p.m, which is great, I decided to visit, and they are called Textile Station. They are hidden in a small industrial estate in an area of Slough where the traffic can get quite bad. So be aware of that when you're thinking about your journey. The traffic can get a bit snarly there. When you enter the trading estate, Google will tell you you've reached it. You need to keep going to the end of it, and they are on the left-hand side. They do have parking outside. You do need to sort of wait or check spaces because there's other businesses, but it's free parking. It is upstairs, so if you are someone who is, for whatever reason, that stairs are not for you, it's a bit of a tricky one. However, they do have a website. So they're like sort of metal fire escape stairs. So if you're not someone who's confident at going places like that on your own, take a friend. It's worth it, I would say. So you go up these fire escape stairs and you're thinking, is it here? Is it here? Suddenly you get to a door and you're inside an Aladdin's cave. I met the lovely owner and his son, and they were really lovely people, very keen to tell me their journey. They are a Slough based business. They used to only do wholesale. During lockdown they changed that. They've been really working on their website. I'll put some images in here. You actually get 10% discount if you buy on their website. I had a really good chat with them about what they do. He goes and sources his own fabric. He can get fabric weaved if you need it big for like a project, like an interior like event or something. And he was asking me what are the popular fabrics at the moment. He's always keen to sort of be looking and sourcing other things. And this is what I mean about actually talking and meeting real people. Now, there is a lot of fabric in there. They don't put the prices on. What they do is you can look them up on their website, or what I did is I just collected the fabrics I like, gave them to the one of the gentlemen that was helping me, and he just went and looked it up for me. They are really keen to help. Don't be shy. If you're looking for a particular type of fabric, ask them and they will find it and show you. There was a lady there who was wanted to sew things for a particular project, and she was literally walking around with a guy while he was showing her things. So I was just picking things I like the look of and saying, can you tell me how much that is? And then at the end, and they were cutting them while I was still browsing. So be brave and ask, I would say. They have fabrics there that I've not seen anywhere else. They have a lot of colour variations of some of their fabrics, and they had a really good selection of plains. Now, I like a plain now, as you know, and it's nice to have a good selection. So let me show you what I got. So I also love a check. I'm not sure I've announced this publicly enough, but I do love a check. So this here I got in two colourways. I got it in this green and yellow, and I got it in a blue and purple. And it's a really interesting fabric because on the back it's a really soft brushed cotton. I don't know if you can see the difference. The back is fuzzy and the front is not, which is lovely because you could have it either way around. So you could have the smooth against your skin and the brushed on the outside, or that brushed against your skin and the smooth on the outside. So the colour choices in this were phenomenal, and just would make lovely skirts, shirts, really fantastic. So I will be making up a dress in this one, and the purple one is in the wash right now because I'm going to be making the spaghetti western Henrietta skirt with that one. And then they had a really good selection of cotton twill. Gotta love a cotton twill, and I love a trouser, so I went for this one, this lovely, that's representing quite well. It's like a jadey emeraldy green, and it's got a nice weight to that, and they were happy for me to pull things out, feel things, ask them. So they had a really wide selection there of cotton twills, more than I've probably seen anywhere else actually in a shop. On websites, yes, but not in an actual shop. So there's that one. Will be some trousers. And then they also had an amazing selection of checked cotton fabric, and they had them in the larger and the smaller checks. And I went for this teal in the larger check because I thought this would make a really lovely top. It's again a nice weight. It's like a cotton slub, and I just felt that would be a really fun top. Their website has a really good selection on it as well. They've got lots of lovely brocades, and as I say, really helpful. So both of these sites, fabric I haven't found anywhere else, and I'm always on the lookout for something different, something interesting, supporting a small family business in Slough, which is great. So if you do go, do let them know that you've seen this, because I did say to them, I did ask them if they were happy, and they said yes. I will be going back, so if any of you are local to me, we can always set up a time to go together. what I always like to do is see what can I find, what's different, what's new, what's out there. And as I say, both of those have websites as well, so you don't have to go in person to buy. You can go on their website. So my next one is a tie-in with the fact that I am going to Plymouth Frock Tales. So I can't wait for the next one. I'm going to do something different in the next one that I've not done before. So I've been contacting some people and it's going to have a different aspect to it, which I think is brilliant because it's nice to keep this fresh and interesting. And of course, there may well be a whole separate one from the sewing retreat because I'm going to another part of the UK that I've not been to. So I'm really enjoying this opportunity to research places, look things up, find surprises, and just have a great time. Do let me know if there's a part of the country you think I should visit, if you think there's a little Aladdin's cave somewhere that I should go and visit, and also how if you like seeing inside the charity shops that I visit as well. I will catch you again soon. Bye.